Namaste. Welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I'm Shelly. Today I am inspired to share a practice for yoga when you're feeling overwhelmed, feeling anxious, having anxiety, panic, and just feeling stressed from everyday life.
Hi friends.
This is my daughter Junebug. This practice is here to help you tune into your breath and connect with yourself. And these are my children, Mr. June, Miss June, and Jack. And I myself struggle from severe panic and anxiety attacks, especially post-babies. I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of panic. I have 3 young children, and especially after the birth of my 3rd son, Jack, I would have severe panic attacks out of nowhere. And I didn't really know how to cope with them. And my mom always had a lot of anxiety, and I thought, oh, I'm just anxious because she's anxious. But I learned that I was causing my own anxiety. So once I found yoga, yoga has really been helping me with breath, pranayama, and movement, helping me slow down and be present in the moment and be aware of where I am and stop stressing out and freaking out about the worries of the future and then just being stuck in past pains. Join me in this practice and let's let go of some of that stress, that strain, that anxiety, and that overwhelming feeling. I love you so much. Namaste. Namaste. Welcome, friends. I encourage you to, if you do not have a meditation cushion or a pillow, to get a nicely folded blanket and fold it nicely. And I encourage you to grab that and put that under your sit bones. Hello, Jack. You can sit quietly. Sit down quietly. This is Jack. He's my 3rd born. He was the guy that after I had him, that I had a lot of my own anxiety, and I would get all of these crazy fears that I wasn't going to be a good enough mom and all this crazy rushes of worry and doubt. In this moment, I invite you to get seated in your favorite Sukhasana, crisscross applesauce. Can you go eat your treats in the office for us? Because I want to do this breathing with just these people. Go in the office. Give me a kiss. Go with Sissy, or you're not going to go to the pool today. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Go in the office. Crisscross applesauce can be many different things. It can be letting one foot rest on the earth, bringing one foot up. Traditional crisscrossing, or doing Baddha Konasana, the butterfly, palms kissing palms. Whatever it feels best for you. The next breath, the breath that we are going to do, the pranayama, is the Nadi Sodhana, which is the alternate nostril breathing. So I encourage you to grab yourself a tissue and blow your nose. A box of tissues or just a tissue and blow your nose. I remember in my yoga teacher training, I thought this was so weird. They're like, blow your nose in front of everyone? Like, what? Isn't that rude? Blow your nose in front of everyone, because if you have a little booger stuck in there, it really throws off the flow. So, really gross. Mine not kind of gross. Mine isn't too bad, but just clear out your nostrils and feel what it feels like. I'm just going to tuck this little tissue away and just allow yourself to settle in. Maybe your heart's racing. Maybe your 3-year-old won't leave you alone as well. Begin by finding length in the spine and rolling the shoulders back. Just bringing the awareness into the body and bringing the awareness into your breath. Just observing the way your breath flows. Maybe it's shallow, maybe it's fast, maybe your heart is racing, maybe you're feeling a little anxious and overwhelmed just from sitting here, but you're here now and you showed up for yourself. Give yourself gratitude for being here and so much love for showing up for yourself and for this practice. This alternate nostril breathing can be done several different ways. You can do the traditional way, which is going to be with the thumb and the ring finger, or you can do it more of like the surfer hang 10, which is the pinky and the thumb, or you can do with the middle finger. Just I would leave out the pointer finger. I personally like to do it this way. I like to do with my ring finger on my left nostril and my thumb on my right nostril. Option to take your peace fingers and tuck them under, or option to draw them and bring them to a focal point to your third eye, which is what I prefer, but not everybody prefers it this way. Some people just prefer the covering with the one finger and the other, and then keeping those two fingers tucked. And don't get too stressed out about, I don't know if I'm doing this breath right or wrong. It's just compressing one airway while opening up the other. And by doing this, we're bringing in the airflow through the right nostril and left nostril. And our different nostrils represent our feminine and our masculine side, which are heating and our cooling elements. And it helps bring a calmness and a balance to our body. Begin by being seated, rolling back the shoulders, holding an intention of relieving stress and strain, letting go of anxiety, and letting the overwhelm dissipate. Putting the thumb on the right nostril, exhaling a deep breath out of the left, inhaling, closing, pausing at the top, and then exhaling through the right. Inhaling, pausing, exhale, inhale, pause, exhale. So flow with this breath at your own rate, and just know, just feel what it feels like to exhale, inhale, pause, exhale, and just be where you are. Show up for yourself on your mat. Deeply exhaling, deeply inhaling, pause, flowing with your breath. Deeply exhale, ground into the present moment. Deeply inhale, purified. Pause and be. Cycling with your breath. Being present here to what is. Exhaling, inhaling. Each exhale, really allowing yourself to let go. Let go of what no longer serves. And hold on to gratitude. Gratitude for yourself. Being thankful that you showed up here. letting go of any judgment and perceptions of yourself or perceptions and judgments of this practice, and just show up. And completing your last full cycle, exhaling deeply. Inhaling, and exhaling, pausing. Allowing that hand to float back down. And something I learned in my teacher training is the Guyana Mudra, which is going to be the pointer finger and the thumb. And when you create a circle, and you actually put them down on your legs, it helps ground you. And when you're feeling like your energy is feeling very unstable, it's just very grounding. So wherever you are, I do this all the time throughout the day. I ground my own energy. And if you're feeling like receiving more energy, if you're feeling open to that, you can flip your Guyana Mudra up. But for this practice, let's ground, because we're here. We're not floating around up here. We're going to be here in this moment. Gently rolling the shoulders back. Sometimes my words twist around. Inhaling, rising the shoulders up to the ears, and rolling and opening the back. Bringing them forward here. Carving a small circle with the very tip of your nose. So envisioning that you're carving a small circle, slowly and mindfully, really tuning into the breath, and spiraling into a medium-sized circle. And just really mindfully being aware of your neck and feeling the muscles of your neck, and spiraling into a large circle. So slowly feeling maybe the ear drop down to one side and the chin, dropping the ear open and allowing the head to drop, making a big giant circle. And slowly coming to neutral. We always want to neutralize our spine when we're doing anything, even our neck and our vertebrae. And spiraling the opposite direction. And if you wish, you can spiral from large to small, or you can go back to small to big, whatever feels best for you. Just being mindful and tuning into that breath. Every time we exhale, we allow ourselves to disconnect from thought, and we allow ourselves to let go of something. I encourage you to really allow yourself to let go and hear and flow with your breath. Slowly, on your own timing, rolling your feet to one side, rotating, and coming up to a tabletop position. With that blanket that you have, I strongly encourage you to have a blanket for comfort of your knees and really tuning into those knees. So bringing that blanket nicely enfolded. You don't want any wrinkles. We often make time and do such nice, kind, caring things for everyone else, but we forget to care and love for ourselves, and that's when we really become overwhelmed and stressed out. So really mindfully tuning into the knees and the hind feet, tracking back ankle, knee, and hips. So really placing the knee under the hips, still engaging the core here, really waking up the core, creating a wide open starfish hand, grounding through the thumb and the pointer finger, releasing underneath of the shoulders. Option to keep the feet curled up or elongate neck down. Coming in for a cow and cats. Really taking a journey, a slow journey of the spine. Inhale, raising up, spreading and expanding. Open the shoulders, tucking the chin to the tail. Exhaling, dropping the tail, raising the chin, really tuning into the breath. Inhaling to rise up. Exhaling, dropping. Soft bend to the elbows here. I encourage you to release an audible ah or a ha sound. Open the jaw and let go. Don't be embarrassed or shy. Just be yourself. Take your cow or cats, or take this moment.
Because he's sniffing in the office.
Okay, take him outside. You take him out. Or take this moment to just find a movement that feels good within you. Go run that way, bud. Go, Joyo. That feels good within your body. This is my puppy, Joy. And yes, life gets crazy. And I always say if I waited for the perfect time to do yoga bliss, I would never do it because I have 3 kids, I have a dog, and life does get overwhelming and stressful, but we have to roll with it. Roll with it, roll with it, roll with it. And open up the shoulders, really feel the difference in the spine. Inhale, rising up the right arm. Exhale, threading it through your little eye hole. Inhale, raising up to the side. Exhale, threading through and just taking a moment in a soft twist. Option to bring the arm around and bind here. Keeping one ear to the mat. Really driving the sit bones back. And breathing in a breath of self-love. When we have anxiety, it is said from Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, that we are not trusting in the process of life because we're too fast forward into the future or too far back on rewind, stuck in the past. And when we can love and approve of ourselves and trust the process of life and know that we are safe here in this life, we can let go of those stressors and strainers. Slowly unraveling the arm if you chose to bind it, powering into a starfish hand, lifting up, unthreading that needle, raising it up to the sun. Exhaling, planting the opposite hand into the earth. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, threading the needle. Joy, no thank you. Inhale, rising up. Okay. This is my test of being overwhelmed while I'm trying to do this. Okay, no thank you, Joy. Go play. Rising up, exhale, threading the needle, having a very playful puppy here. No thank you, no thank you, no thank you. Okay, be a good boy and lay, stop, lay. Inhale, rising up, exhaling, threading that shoulder to drop. Inhale for an active threading the needle, rising up. Exhaling, threading the needle one more time. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, threading the needle, allowing that shoulder to drop onto the earth, ear melting and pressing into the mat. Option to keep one hand planted in or to bind it behind the back. Breathing in a relaxing, stress relieving breath. And letting it go. Allowing yourself to trust in what is present. Let go of control and perceptions. And just be here in the now. Being here in this moment, in every moment. Inhale, deep breath in. Letting go. Inhaling, placing that arm if you chose to bind onto the mat. Inhale, raising up and exhaling. Bhaktasana. So some like to keep knees together or open. For me, I like to open and spread my knees wide open. Kissing the toes together, driving the sit bones back. And some people don't have the mobility or flexibility in the hamstrings. And some of my students I see have to stay up here, hinging forward at the hips, keeping a wide, active, open starfish hand, melting the forehead down to the earth. So if you need to stay up here, if you have the mobility, if you can stretch back, or if you have a pillow or a blanket, this is a home practice. And the beautiful thing is we have many things. You can push pause. And you can put this behind and just melt back for Bhaktasana. And melt your heart into the earth. And allow yourself to just be here. One of my favorite books is Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And in her book, she has a mental programming for every illness and disease of our body and a healing affirmation. So stay melted down, really rooting those sit bones back, elongating through the calves of the legs and the arms. Anxiety is when we do not trust the flow and the process of life. So when we get anxious, it's because we're not trusting in what life is gifting us. And the healing affirmation that Louise shares, that I say, and I've said it for like 2 years every day, is I love and approve of myself. I trust in the process of life. I am safe. I know that those are true. Tuning in to the right or left leg, bringing that foot through and planting it in between the hands. I know for some people this can be a little challenging, so bringing it up and helping it, if you need help with this opposite hand, and helping it and planting it into the earth, coming in for Anjaneyasana, a crescent lunge. Option to let that behind foot rest behind, tracking back to the knee and the ankle and the hip, and tuning into the front foot, planting through the four corners of the foot, 2 in the front, 2 in the hind, aligning ankle to knee and hips. So option to stay here, inhale to rise. This is one option. You can be here, or if you feel you want something a little bit more empowering, tucking the hind toes, powering up through the glutes, the booty muscles, the hamstrings, corseting the core strength and pulling up here. So again, option to rise or option to stay down. Inhale, raising the arms to a T. Exhaling, twisting at one side here. Maybe coming in for a soft reverse, letting the arms slide down the back leg, reversing and really hugging the thighs together, being strong and strengthened. Exhaling to neutral, down, inhaling, back to neutral, exhaling, twisting the opposite direction, and maybe finding a soft bind if you can, or just letting that arm to drop down, and finding a soft bend in the opposite side. Exhaling, arms straight. Inhaling, if you would like, you can power up or stay down. Rising the arms up, soft back bend, crescent lunge. Really tuning the hips forward for a soft crescent lunge here. Inhaling a deep breath into the heart. Exhaling, letting it go. Breathing in a beautiful breath into the heart. Letting it go. Exhaling, shooting the hands down, framing that foot. Exhale, stepping that hind foot back, coming in for a plank pose. So really grounding to the four corners of the hand and pressing up through the shoulder blades. So this is a plank pose, and oftentimes we're either too far down, more in an up dog, or too far up. So really finding what that feels like. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I try my best though. So really trying your best and envisioning that you're holding a plank on your back, and inhaling, you could drop down to the knees here and just feeling that strength and that heat of that body. So coming in for the opposite side, stepping the opposite foot forward or helping it to whatever you need if you have any injuries or so. Stepping it forward, tuning in for that crescent on the opposite side. Really tuning into that hind foot, tracking that leg back. Inhale, raising up, hands on hips, hips facing forward. Really tuning into that front foot, grounding the four corners, being aware if the knees wanting to drop out or in. Hugging thighs, empowering through the corset of core strength. Exhaling the arms to a T and twisting at one side. Since we did those twists on that one side, you can choose to do the same thing on the other side. Or you can just stay static and still. Coming in and just letting the opposite hand, you can bind it behind the back if you would like, or allow it to just drop down. Inhale for a soft, twisted back bend here. Floating the arms straight, coming back to neutral, twisting it the opposite direction. Option to find a soft bind or dropping that leg back. And softly twisting, hitting a soft twisted back bend here, really keeping tone into the core. Exhaling, arms to neutral. Option to stay down or option to corset. Really power up, inhale, raising up, soft back bend. Breathing 3 of your own delicious breaths into your heart. Really opening up that heart. Being present. Giving yourself gratitude for showing up. If you're feeling wobbly, that's okay. Inhaling, breathe deeply in. Letting go. Exhaling, floating the hands down to the earth with a starfish hand, pushing that foot back and removing that blanket if you have it into down facing dog. So really tuning into a starfish hand, rolling the biceps out, pushing up through the shoulders, opening up the shoulders, magnetizing the heart towards the thighs. I know some instructors cue to melt the heart into the earth. You actually don't as much want to melt into the earth as you want to push back, really powering energy, driving through the hands into the earth, up to the sit bones, and from the sit bones down to the feet. And being okay with wherever you are in your down dog, walking out your dog. And if you are like me, I don't have full range of flexibility to press all the way to the earth, and that's okay. If you really feel like you want to feel what that feels like to be connected, you could take that blanket and roll it up here and place that underneath. You could also roll up your mat a little bit here, and you can really, here, tune in. It gets a little bit tricky, but just do a pull with one foot and the other. I'm a mom, I'm a super multitasker. And just feel what it feels like to push and ground through that blanket here, really opening up the shoulders and sinking. The Adho Mukha Savasana, this down dog pose, is actually an amazing pose. It's an inverted pose, and it is actually very good for mild depression, and it has been known to help with headaches, which can also be linked to helping reduce stress and relieve anxiety. So if you're having like a little panic attack or anything, or feeling pretty sad, get in some inversions. Go upside down a little bit. Get your downward dog on. Walk out your dog. Not your real dog, but your own personal inner dog. Inhale, raising up with the right foot, tucking chin into knee. Exhaling, rising and driving that heel, the toe up to the ceiling. Inhale, journeying, whatever that looks like for you. If you need to take a slow journey, or planting that foot into the earth, front foot facing forward. Coming in, setting in for a warrior two. So tuning up on that hind foot, dropping the heel, placing the foot, the hind foot facing the long edge of the mat. So creating a corner with our left foot and our right foot. Really tuning in if we're on a set of skis or a tight rope here. Inhale, coursing through the core strength, cartwheeling the arms up here. Tuning in, opening up the hips, powering through the thighs, through the glutes, opening up your wings, tuning into that inner warrior. This is one of my favorite poses. Keeping soft bend to the high knee, really bending that front knee, being aware if it's dropping in or out, being aware of the integrity of the spine, elongating through the spine, soft tuck to the chin, engaging those bandhas, zipping up. If you haven't seen, I just posted the ABCs of yoga asanas in the B series. We talk all about our 3 bandhas. So if you want to dig a little deeper, find a little freeing movement here. I fell in love with yoga originally because I would see practitioners doing graceful, gentle moves. So be static and still, or just find your own creative Virabhadrasana to maybe just like journey with the arms, just being yourself and flowing with your breath. Letting go, allowing, trusting to come to you, loving yourself, holding an intention of self-love, self-acceptance. Inhaling, journeying the opposite arm, letting it slide down the opposite leg, opening, giving a backwards high 5, opening up the shoulder and the heart, rolling the shoulder away from the ear for peaceful warrior, allowing a soft bind to the back. You can just tuck it and let it rest on the top of the glute, or if you can reach around and try to grab for the top of the leg. I know for me, for a really long time, it was hard to do this full bind. So if your bind is here, or if you are here, that is a-okay. Tuning really into what it means to be peaceful and a peaceful warrior. Inhale if you would like, raising up, straightening out that leg. Being peaceful, exhale, deepening into that warrior. Taking a beautiful cleansing breath into the heart space. And a gentle organic exhale for Piraka Pranayama. Purifying the breath with each elongated inhale into the heart. Exhaling, straightening that leg, really feeling the work and the strength and the heat on the leg. Exhaling, bending. One more beautiful breath. Exhaling, arms back to that T. Really pushing down through the middle finger, grounding down, lifting the ears away, creating strength and power and energy from fingertip to fingertip here. Exhaling, hinging at the hips. So feeling what it feels like to hinge at the hip for Utthita Parsvakonasana, that extended side angle. So really using the strength of the core, hinging down, keeping only 20% of the weight into the arm if you choose to stay up. Exhaling slowly and gracefully, creating that extended lateral diagonal angle if you have the range of mobility. Dropping that hand down to the earth. Naturally our body's going to want to cave in, so opening up the arm, opening up the hip, creating that beautiful lateral angle here. Inhaling a cleansing breath. Exhaling that cleansing breath. Breathing in strength. Beautiful work, friends. I know it's burning. You can do it. You're strong and grounded. Exhaling. You've got this. Inhaling. Inhale, rising up. Cartwheeling. Ooh, my thighs are burning. I don't know if it's from my earlier practice or this one, but on fire right here. You've got this. Inhale, raising up. Straightening out that front leg. Coming in for a triangle, Trikonasana. In yoga, we always, no matter how straight the pose looks, we always want to keep soft and gentle micro bends to the knees and to the elbows to keep the integrity of all the ligaments and the tendons and all of the attachments to our joints in our body. Exhaling the arms to a T. So just how we did in that last pose, hinging at the hips. Sometimes I can feel it in my shoulders. So if you're feeling it in your shoulders, realign, hands on hips, hips facing out. Hinging, allowing the opposite arm to drop down. Option to be up at thigh, bypassing the knee joint, or down on the top of the outside of the calf. Shoulders want to be stacked over shoulders. Option to bend here, or option to also keep a soft spine, keeping the hips and the heart raised up and out, creating these beautiful, powerful triangles. Beautiful triangle created here, and beautiful triangle on the earth. A triangle is known as one of the most sturdy, stable shapes. 3 sides. To me, it's connecting the mind to the body, to the soul. Being in a deep, stress-relieving breath. Letting go of that overwhelm as we allow ourselves to be present. Slowly, mindfully exhaling, unhinging at the hips. Releasing that opposite foot, facing the long edge of the mat. Soft bend to both legs. Hinging the heart and the hips, leading down to the earth. Envisioning there is a board, or I like to create a line of energy from the crown of my head through my sit bones, keeping a straight back as long as you can. Option on these bends, these forward bends, are if you have straighter legs, still micro bend to the knee, keeping a straighter spine, or if you have tighter hamstrings and tighter muscles, generous bend to the knees and generous bend, melting the heart down to the earth. And taking a moment here to feel what it feels like. I'm feeling a lot of warmth and heat in my right side, and I need to balance my opposite side, but just being okay with that and not jumping to, oh my gosh, I must balance out right now. Just being okay with what is. Life is often unbalanced, and it is up to us personally to find balance. We cannot look to others. We cannot look to things or money. We must look within to find balance in our own lives. Slowly exhaling and walking the hands to the opposite side. Just slowly relocating the opposite foot facing the opposite end of the mat. For me, it's the left. Maybe you're on the opposite side. Walking those hands around. Coming in for a Virabhadrasana 2. So I'm going to realign slightly and get my feet set up here where I would like them for my Virabhadrasana 2, rooting into the four corners of the feet, 2 in the front, 2 in the heel. Same in the back foot, creating that 90-degree angle like there's a corner. Exhaling, cartwheeling the arms, windmilling, whatever resonates with you. Keeping that nice bend to that front knee. As you peek down, you want to just see that big toe. If the mobility is here, you can stay here, just feeling what it feels like in your body, just being leery if you're going too far forward, compromising the knee and the patellar tendon here. So really tuning into that body, opening up the hips, soft bend to that hind leg, opening up the arms, pressing down through that pointer finger, creating that line of energy from fingertip to fingertip, raising up at the heart, and maybe finding that beautiful, graceful, that warrior within you that is strong and strengthened. And maybe your warrior just looks like this, or maybe you want to do some more straight lines with your warrior. Being your own inner warrior here. Exhaling, floating the opposite arm down, coming in for that peaceful warrior. Backwards, high-fiving, opening up the shoulders, kind of squeezing those back shoulder blades together while you're opening up the heart. Option to find a soft bind behind the back, or grabbing the opposite leg, really pulling the ear away from the shoulder here. Finding this beautiful, peaceful warrior. If you would like, option to stay static and still, or to keep dynamic. Inhale, raising up, finding that length, creating energy from the fingertips down to the feet. Exhaling, deepening that peaceful warrior. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, deepening into that warrior. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, deepening into your warrior. Inhaling, letting go. Floating the arms back to that T. I might have mixed these up and I might have not, but that's okay. We're going to flow with it. Coming into, tuning into the hips for that extended side angle. Hips hinging down, releasing the arm above head, creating that lateral angle. Option to stay up, keeping only 20% of the weight if you are up here into the arm on the leg, but really keeping that weight and that strength into that body as you're creating this beautiful side angle here. Breathing in a deep, purifying breath into the heart. Exhaling. The Piraka Pranayama is just such a beautiful breath. And you can use it, I use it all the time. So it's just a long, lengthened inhale into your heart and your ribs, followed by an exhale. Exhaling the arms to a T. Straightening out that leg, and now we're coming in for that Trikonasana on the opposite side. Soft bend to the body, arms to a T, hinging, you know the drill. Exhaling, shoulders stacking over shoulders, creating your beautiful triangle here. Triangles, exhaling. You got this, you're strong and rooted, feeling the strength and the power of your beautiful bodies. You're trusting and loving and being present. Exhaling, arms to a T. Both feet facing forward, doing a slight little heel, toe, sinking in for a goddess squat. Pressing down through the four corners of the feet. I kind of like to rock into my goddess. Big toes facing the corners of the mat. Envisioning there's a wall and sliding down into that wall. Sinking the booty down into the earth. Taking a moment to be grounded and rooted. Our root chakra is down here. And when we're anxious, we're not trusting that we're here. We're more here, second our thoughts. I love the goddess pose to just help me root and tune in. And if you can slowly walk down, coming for a yogi squat or a froggy squat, just journeying, finding your own way down, or if you need to, you can bring one knee down, but just journeying down to what feels good to come down onto the earth. Bringing the sit bones down. And elongating the legs straight out. Pressing down, back. This is the Dandasana, the staff pose. This is one of those poses where you can feel a lot, or a lot of nothing. So if you want to feel a lot, keeping the hands at the side so you can slightly keep them back, pressing through the sit bones, elongating the spine, a soft tuck to the chin. Raising up the heart here, wiggling the toes, grounding through that invisible wall. If you have more flexibility, you can keep a straighter leg with a soft bend, or you can have a more generous bend. Inhale, raising the arms up to the sun, coming in for a seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Again, if you have straighter legs, keeping that straighter back. This looks so different for everyone. It's not a one-size-fits-all. It could just be here. If you're feeling like you want to keep a straighter spine, staying here would be okay. Or you can keep that generous bend and just bend and fold forward. I love this pose. You can also take a blanket or a pillow and put it under your legs for comfort, which I love. You can put a little pause here. And hinge at the heart and lean forward. And giving yourself so much gratitude and love. And acceptance and love here. And thanking yourself for showing up for yourself. Inhale, raising up to the back of the body, out of the way. Pressing the feet into the earth. And I want you to take this slow. Like in anxiety and worry and overwhelming, we are just rushing into the next step. So I want you to, with every morsel of your body, slowly and mindfully connect into the feet, into the earth with my energetic dog. Hands on the knees and roll slowly. And I mean slowly. I want you to take your time. And you can slowly work the hands here. Mindfully keep the feet, whatever it takes, connected to the earth like glue. And each vertebrae, I want you to feel it. As slowly and mindfully as you can. You can do this, you're strong. Keep rooted in the earth. Breathing. Mindfully, slowly and mindfully allowing each vertebrae and shoulders to rest to the earth. That is quite tricky. Beautiful job, friends. You are amazing. You did it. Exhaling, both legs long. Just taking a moment here to feel the energy that we created. Inhale, rise and raise both legs, feeling the shake of the body, lifting, corseting that core strength, feeling it in your core, in your neck. Exhaling down, coming in for a full boat, whatever that looks like. If you need a kickstand up on your arms, or if you can rock up, coming into that full boat. For some people, it might be 1 foot at a time. Or if you can, try to power both feet straight out, creating a 90-degree angle, creating this V in your body, opening up the shoulders, rolling the shoulders away from the ears. Or if you can, find full, as far up as you can, stretch those legs up. Or if you have a strap or a belt, you can also yank those up. For me, feels good to be here. Inhaling a beautiful breath for Paripurnavasana, the full boat pose. You are strengthened and rooted and trusting. Beautiful breaths in, friends. Letting it go. Feeling your own heat. Cultivating trust and awareness within. Inhaling one more breath. You've got this. 2 more. Let's push it. You're amazing, friends. Slowly, mindfully journeying back down to the earth. Sinking into the earth. Knees up to the chest for Apanasana, a double wind reliever. Option to interlace or hold onto the legs. Massaging and rotating on that lower back. Beautiful breath into the heart, friends. Rocking side to side. Giving yourself love and gratitude for showing up for yourself in this practice. So proud of you. It isn't always easy to be here for ourselves. Coming in for our final pose of surrender, my favorite pose, one of them, lots of them are. favorite. Exhaling mindfully, one leg down to the earth and the other. And just taking a moment to be here. Maybe if your hair's in the way, moving that. Letting your legs drop out, rooting through your legs, your sit bones, your spine, your shoulders, feeling what it feels like to tuck and have a more heart-opening savasana or a more sinking spine into the earth. There's no right or wrong way. Taking a moment to stretch the arms and the legs, point the toes overhead, and squeeze every muscle tight, your butt, your calves, your glutes, your core. Purse your lips, squeeze your face, make a sour face like you just ate a lemon. Squeezing, stressing, and straining, and overwhelm of the world, and then with a deep exhale, sigh. Make yourself let it go. Once again, my friends, stress and strain and squeeze everything together. Feel the strain and the overwhelm of the world. And make yourself let it go. One more time, my friends. Feel the overwhelm and the stress and the strain. You can barely take it and tell them no more, and you surrender to what is. Allowing your arms to drop by your sides. And feeling the difference between that stressing and straining, and then making yourself feel relaxed. I know the thought of making what I can make myself feel relaxed. You can. We are in charge. Our emotions do come, run, and rise and flow, but we can choose to let the overwhelm and the stress and the panic and the anxiety take us down. And in a moment, we can connect with our breath. So tuning into that breath. And you can ground your hands into your belly to really help you anchor into the moment, and one hand on your heart. And breathing a deep belly breath into that tummy. Growing and growing bigger than your heart, and exhaling. Growing and growing. Filling up your belly like a balloon and exhaling. Taking this savasana to scan from your tippy toes. And scan and allow everything to melt from your toes, to melt in your calves, your thighs, and your glutes, and your booty, and your navel, to let everything relax and rest to the earth from your arms, and your shoulders, and your fingers, and your neck, and your face, and your tongue, and your eyes, and your head, and even your hair. And take this moment to be present in this moment. I encourage you with this practice to not only leave it here on the mat in this moment. I encourage you to take breath with you today. I encourage you to hold those affirmations. And remember, when we're feeling angst, that means that we're not trusting in the process of life. And to hold that affirmation. And if you have a pen and a pencil near, I would recommend pausing this and writing down this affirmation. I love myself. I approve of myself. I accept myself just as I am. I trust in the process of life. All is well. I am safe. I'll say it one more time. I love myself. I approve of myself. I accept myself just as I am. I trust in the process of life. All is well. I am safe. And I say that about every day to myself. And that's a beautiful affirmation to help tune you back in. I love you so much, and I'm so grateful for you and grateful for this practice. You may stay in Savasana. I'm going to sit up in Sukhasana, and I'm going to finish with 3 Oms. If you've been practicing with me, Om is the primordial sound that connects all earth, air, and ether. And it's just a beautiful way to connect all of us yogis from all over the world, hundreds of thousands, millions of yogis and followers of the practice. And it's a great way to raise your vibration. I also use mantra, so affirmations or mantra when I'm feeling stressed out, Just even Om. If I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed out with my kids, just Om, I'll Om. Or I'll say my Ganesh mantra, which is Om Gam Ganapate Namaha. 3 Oms, my beautiful friends. Grounding with the Gayana Mudra. Grounding for receiving energy, or maybe wonderful. Deep breath into the heart space. Elongate the spine, rolling the shoulders back. Thank you so much, my beautiful friends. Hand to heart center, palms kissing palms, Anjali Mudra. Traveling up to that third eye, giving your intuitive center a knuckle rub in one direction, a circle in the opposite. Thank you for this practice. And know that with affirmations and breath and movement, we can help rewire ourselves and we can help ground ourselves into the present moment and let go of all of the chaos of the world by being here with each other. And know that I'm here and I'm sending you a warm hug and I'm shining light and love to you. And know all of your fellow yogi practitioners, we're all connected. Not just yogis, all of us, we're all connected, whether or not we see it. I love you and you are such a gift to me. And I'm truly grateful for you. And I'm deeply grateful for your practice. Namaste. Love, friends.
Yoga Bliss with Shelly. That's our mom.
You can say it like in the yoga move if you want to. Welcome to Yoga Bliss. Just kidding.
Yoga Bliss with Shelly. Welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly. And that's my mom.
Namaste.
Namaste.
You too, June.
Namaste.
You can say it, June.
Namaste.
Namaste, friends. Welcome to Yoga Bliss with Shelly. And that's my mom.
Welcome to Shelly, and that's my mom.
Yeah.